All right, let's dive right into one of the biggest Serie A matchups this weekend, huh?
Definitely a big one.
AC Milan taking on Lazio Sunday night at the San Siro.
Always a cracker.
And this one, well, let's just say the stakes are pretty high for both sides.
Yeah, no kidding. Milan, they're on a 3-game losing streak. They need a win, like, yesterday.
Desperate to climb back up that table.
Absolutely.
Lazio, though, they're sitting pretty, aiming for a top 4 finish.
Right in the mix.
But here's the thing. We all know at Tips Moto, those tables can turn in an instant.
Football, right. Anything can happen on the day.
That's why we're here, though. Breaking down this matchup, giving you the insights you need.
All the angles.
Especially because, Lazio, historically, not great at the San Siro.
Yeah, haven't had much luck there, have they?
But Milan's struggling. So maybe, just maybe,
Yeah.
this is Lazio's chance.
It's going to be interesting, that's for sure.
Let's talk about Milan's slump first. I mean, it's been rough.
Really rough. Out of the Champions League playoffs, just 1 win in their last 5.
Across all competitions, which is yikes.
Not a good look.
And that loss to Bologna, ouch.
Especially that one. Bologna's first win against Milan since, 2014?
2014. Coach
Wow.
Conchacao must be feeling the heat.
Big time. This match could be make or break for him.
Yeah, no pressure.
Sitting in 8th place right now, 8 points behind Juventus, who are holding on to that 4th spot.
Speaking of Juventus, that's where Lazio wants to be. 6 points ahead of Milan, and still in the Europa League.
Still fighting on 2 fronts.
They've hit a bit of a snag themselves, though. 2 draws in a row in Serie A, and got knocked out of Coppa Italia by Inter.
Not ideal.
And they haven't scored a goal in their last 2 matches across all competitions.
Goal drought.
A bit of a worry, right?
It is, yeah. But they're facing a Milan side with some key defensive players out injured.
Let's talk about that. The injury list is always a factor.
Always.
For Milan, Loftus-Cheek, Florenzi, Emerson Royal, they're all out.
Big losses.
And Kyle Walker.
Still a question mark. That thigh problem's been lingering.
So their defense could be, well, vulnerable.
Definitely a weakness.
Especially against a team like Lazio.
Exactly. And Lazio, they're not without their own injury woes.
No, Castellanos is still sidelined.
And there's a chance Romagnoli might miss this one too.
That muscle issue from the Coppa Italia match.
Yeah, it's not looking good. Those absences could impact their attack and defense.
Definitely something we've been looking at closely at Tips Moto.
Big factor.
Okay, so Milan, Lazio, both need this win. But obviously, for different reasons.
Yeah, totally different situations.
What are some of the things that could really swing this match? What are we looking at here at Tips Moto?
Well, one thing we've got to consider, even though, yeah, they've had a rough go of it lately, Milan at home at the San Siro.
That'd be tough.
It's a different beast. The fans, the atmosphere, it can really rattle opponents.
And their attack, even with the injuries, it's still potent.
Oh, yeah. Leão, Pulisic, Félix, Jimenez up top.
That's a lot of firepower.
Any team would have trouble containing that. So we've been looking at, how might Lazio approach this?
What's their game plan?
We're thinking maybe they'll try to keep things tight defensively. Exactly. Limit the space in the middle, force Milan out wide.
Stifle their creativity.
Exactly. Make them predictable.
Makes sense. Now, on the other side, Lazio, not scoring goals lately.
A bit of a problem.
Castellanos still out.
Right. But look, their attack is still dangerous.
Zaccagni, he's been on fire this season.
He could be the key.
Unlock that Milan defense, especially if, Walker's not 100%.
Exactly. If they can get Zaccagni, Pedro running at that back line.
Could be trouble.
Big trouble. We've seen Lazio do really well in the counterattack this year.
That might be their best bet, right?
Mhm.
Soak up the pressure, hit Milan on the break.
Exactly. Punish any mistakes. And with those missing defenders for Milan,
There could be mistakes.
it's a real possibility. We've highlighted that in our analysis. Now, speaking of history, we have to talk about this San Siro curse thing.
1 win in 34 attempts for Lazio.
Brutal. But you said it earlier, this Milan team, they're not invincible.
Not like they used to be.
So is this the year Lazio breaks the curse? It's possible.
We've looked at the historical data, right? But
We also look at current form, the individual matchups, even the psychology of it all.
right, because that all plays a role.
Yeah.
And that's what we do at Tips Moto. We go deep. We don't just look at the surface.
We analyze everything.
So give us the inside scoop.
All right.
What are you guys really focusing on for this match? What could decide it?
Well, I think the midfield's going to be, the battleground.
Yeah, that's where it could be won or lost, huh?
For sure. You've got Fofana and Reinders for Milan.
Solid defensively.
Really solid. But they're going up against Guendouzi.
Lazio's maestro.
He can control the tempo, pick out passes, really make things happen.
If he's on his game, Milan's going to have their hands full.
Absolutely. And then you got to think about those missing players, you know? Milan's defense, even when everyone's fit, they've been shaky.
Giving up a lot of goals.
Too many. And Lazio, they've got the players to exploit that, even without Castellanos.
Pace, creativity.
Yeah, it's all there.
Flip side of that, Lazio's defense. Dealing with Jimenez, he's a handful.
Oh, yeah. Holds the ball up, brings others into play.
Real target man.
If he can occupy those center backs, it'll open up space for Leão, Pulisic.
Yeah, that's going to be key for Milan. Now, what about this San Siro curse? Does that even matter at this point?
Honestly, I'm not sure it does. We've crunched the numbers, and yeah, historically, it's been a nightmare for Lazio. But this Milan team, they're not the same Milan.
Not the fortress they once were.
Exactly. And Lazio, under Sarri, they play a different style. It's not like those Lazio teams of the past.
So past results, maybe not the best indicator here.
We don't think so. We're focusing more on the current form, you know, the tactics, the missing players, all that.
That's what we do here at Tips Moto, right? Look beyond the obvious. Give people the full picture.
The insights they need to make informed decisions.
Because at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. Understanding the game, making smart bets.
That's the goal.
And if you want to get ahead of the game, for this match, any match, head over to tipsmoto.co.ke.
All the data, all the analysis, you need it.
Tips Moto, your trusted guide to winning bets. We'll catch you next time for another deep dive.